You know, this really is a lovely color on you. What else do you have in here? Silk underwear.
Keep going.
More surprises.
Oh, yeah. Big surprise. Huge surprise.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Joe Cobra gaming video. Alongside me today as well is Mr. P from the Mr. P Film Review.
What up, guys?
Or Movie Review. Sorry, we've changed the name now, haven't we? Sorry. So yeah, we're here today to give you a review of one of our all-time favourite films.
Oh, you better believe it. Such an all-time favourite film. We know the film back to front. That I've watched the film with the volume down because I know every film.
Oh, exactly. Know the whole dialogue for every scene. And this is a childhood favourite of ours. We used to go to school together, and this film is what we grew up on with films like this. And Double Impact, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. Twice. And directed by Sheldon Lettich, who has actually worked with Van Damme on other films. With some of the other films they've worked together.
He wrote The Corrupt Bloodsport, and he also worked on AWOL or Lionheart.
That's right, Lionheart, Legionnaire, and yeah. So these two have worked together, so they know what they're doing. Was released in 1991. My God, it makes me feel old.
Oh yes.
And tell us, what's it about, P?
Well, in this film we get two Van Dammes for the price of one. In this film, we see Jean-Claude Van Damme in the opening scene. We see Paul and Catherine Wagner and their business partner Nigel Griffith. They open a tunnel in Hong Kong called the Victoria Peak Tunnel. And on their way home from opening the tunnel, the couple are subsequently murdered by a triad hit team. And their bodyguard, Frank Avery, played by Jeffrey Lewis, goes to rescue them.
God rest his soul.
Oh yeah. But when he tries to rescue one of the twins, he realises that the twins have been separated, so the au pair has taken one, and Frankie takes the other one. And upon his escape, he realises that this was actually a setup by their couple's business partner, Nigel Griffith, who was in cahoots with a notorious crime lord, Raymond Zhang. And
who were there to witness the
attack.
The attack. What did you think of that first scene?
I thought the first scene was a great opener.
Brutal, wasn't it?
Very, very brutal. And again, it was very, very merciless. We saw Bolo Young as Moon with the shotgun in hand, killing all, including killing the husband, killing the daughter, killing the wife. And it was just a really, really great setup for the film.
He also took a shot in the face as well.
Oh, yes.
Throughout the process, which is where he gets the famous scar from later on in the film.
That's right, but he was still strong enough to get up and actually shoot Frankie in the
shoulder.
Oh, yeah. But that film, great opener, great music, great choreographed action sequence, and also, a bit of trivia, Paul Wagner was played by Andy Armstrong, who is a legendary stunt choreographer and action sequence choreographer, and he also did the action sequences for this film as well. So
there you go.
He had a bit of a cameo appearance in this film, but very well put together, great opening sequence. And then when Frankie finally escapes with one of the twins, the au pair drops of one of the twins at an orphanage.
That's right.
And Frankie takes the other twin.
The one in the orphanage being Alex and Chad stayed with his uncle Frankie.
Oh, it still hurts.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Maybe you should relax now. Okay? Slowly close your legs. Ooh, beautiful. Doing well. You know, stretching is so important. For example, because of my big legs and karate, I can do the splits no problem. Back and forth, back and forth. Feels good.
You're right in here. I'll be with you in a minute. Chad.
Yeah, sorry.
Where it really starts to take off, and this is where we get to meet Chad, the first of the brothers.
25 years later.
25 years later.
Well, Chad for the first time.
And we see Chad for the first time, who works with his uncle Frankie, where he explains to him that they have some business in Hong Kong.
That's right. And with this scene in particular, we get to see Jean-Claude Van Damme. We see how Chad has grown up. So Chad is this peaceful, kind-hearted, well-dressed playboy. You know, he's a ladies' man.
Oh, he's a playboy.
He's a ladies' man.
Yeah.
And then when they go to Hong Kong, and I just love how they filmed Hong Kong. I love the soundtrack. I love the cinematography.
Yeah, for me, that's when the film really takes off.
That's right. And in that restaurant, they get to meet Danielle.
Beautiful Danielle.
Beautiful, wearing red blonde hair, who thinks that this is someone else, who thinks Chad is someone else.
Yeah, which we later find out that Chad and Alex are totally two different people, and Chad is dressed as Chad Wood, and she actually mocks him for what he's wearing, but she still thinks that it's him and that he's maybe just gone for a new look.
Yeah, trying to impress her.
So as their boyfriend and girlfriend, Alex and Danielle, they're very comfortable with each other. So she starts to give him the old silk underwear treatment.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. I do love that scene.
That scene is an iconic scene, one that we used to rehearse many times when we were kids.
Oh,
but
boy.
then
that's what introduces us to Alex.
And that's where Chad gets a rude awakening.
Oh, he gets a rude awakening, all right. Again, that's for me. This is the first scene that I fell in love with this film. Let's have a quick look at the scene where Alex and Chad meet for the first time.
Oh yeah.
He touch you?
Sorry. He looks exactly like you.
Look like me? You, of all people, should know I would never in my life wear black silk underwear. Wait. Look at it, a faggot. Frankie, what's going on here?
Chad, he's your brother. Look at him. For Christ's sake, look at him. Just take a look at him. He's your twin brother.
Believe this. My brother. See that door? You've got both of you 10 seconds to get the fuck out. Or the fish tank may be better.
Should you at least hear what they've got to say?
5 seconds!
Damn it, Alex!
You stay here. Don't even think about it, pal. Don't even think about it. Sit down.
Love that scene.
Love that scene.
Never get tired of that scene.
It never gets tired, and it shows its first comedic element of the movie, which works well.
And Jeffrey Lewis, I thought he was like the glue that held the two boys together.
This is where Alex also gets a rude awakening and finds out some home truths, which he actually doesn't really want to believe at this point.
Exactly, and again, Alex ain't having none of it. He really couldn't care less, purely because, like he said, Frankie raised Chad. Who raised Alex?
That's right.
Nobody raised Alex.
Exactly.
Alex had to fend for himself.
All by himself. And Alex didn't want nothing to do with it. And as you know, he sends him packing with his French silk underwear.
Yeah. But then says, okay, but recruits him, you know what, you want to do this?
Yeah, you want to do this? I've got some work for you, yeah. Which leads us to the next scene where they go out on a big boat to do some smuggling. What are they smuggling? Mercedes,
cigarettes, a whole lot of contraband.
That's right, and the deal's going very, very well up until the police arrive. Obviously, the triers think that Alex set them up, and then what ensues is a fantastic, which is basically the first big action scene of the film,
and a great fight sequence as well.
And you get to see them actually fighting for the first time, and very choreographed very well.
But it was a very, very good, very, very well choreographed sequence. And again, I think we've highlighted this the most. But Van Damme, as limited as he is as an actor, what I like most about the fact that he gave us two unique, diverse performances. Because twins, even though they look alike, they're uniquely different.
That's right.
In terms of personality. And Van Damme did that with both Chad and Alex. Chad, again, kind, playful, ladies' man. Alex, hard-drinking, smuggling, cigar-chopping guy. And again, then uniquely different, but uniquely different fighting styles as well.
That's right, yeah. You clearly see it. It goes with their personalities.
Precisely. Because Chad was brought up on the street. Well, Chad was brought up in he was had well-to-do upbringing. So he was very much utilising his karate and his kung fu.
Yeah, dirty tricks and street fighting, yeah.
And again, Alex was just more brutal, more urban, more street. And you got to see that. He headbutted a lot of people. He choked out a lot of people, broke a lot of necks. And it worked very, very well in this film.
Yeah, compared to Chad's clean-cut style.
Precisely. And then we get to see one of our favourite scenes after
where we meet Mr. Zhang.
Precisely. And one thing that we've always discussed was the fact that with Zhang and Griffith, as ruthless as they are, you don't know who supersedes one another. Who's number one in their relationship.
That's right. You never really ever see which one has more power over the other, which is probably what works well for them too, which makes them good villains, is that they work together throughout this process.
Precisely.
And we get to meet Mr. Zhang for the first time, and he gets to his time to shine in a very famous scene that I know Patrick loves this scene personally. Run him through this scene.
Well, we see Chad wearing some of Alex's clothes, and he's waiting for Alex or Frankie, we don't know which. But when Chad pulls his hair back, the twins mistake him for Alex because Alex has relaxed hair. And one of the triads admires his clothing, saying, "Oh, son of the jacket! Oh yes, sir." And then one of them pulls the gun out on Chad and forces him into Mr. Zhang's car. And we see Mr. Zhang's henchman, Moon, played by Bolo Young. Again, another freaking collaborator.
They've worked together on quite a few films. Bloodsport being one of the most famous ones.
At the same time, we hear Mr. Zhang explain to him about wanting to get Alex on his side by bringing him on the drug deals because he's a very good smuggler. This is the first scene where we actually get to see Chad actually defend himself, because actually we saw him do that in the dojo, in the dojo,
or in the boat scene as well. But he's more watching Alex do what he does. But in this one, Chad gets his chance to shine. And again, here we have the first fight with Bolo and Van Damme himself. And we actually got a clip. Let's watch this clip.
是我转认识。嗯
Go fuck yourself.
I didn't hear you.
You go fuck yourself.
Big mistake.
Where the action really takes off and where we get a really, really great understanding of Alex's style of fighting, where, you know, hence the tag piece in the film, one packs the piece, another packs the punch, where we see the twins go off to one of Mr. Zhang's warehouses, and thus ensues a really, really great shootout, reminiscent of John Woo.
The action just doesn't let up from him.
It doesn't let up. And again, like you said, you know, when we discussed this earlier, all that was missing was doves.
Yeah, John Woo. Very John Woo.
And 2 years later, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme actually got to work with John Woo.
That's right. That's right. Hard Target.
So that worked. So there was a really, really great shootout in that sequence. One of the best that I've seen. And again, very, very 90s. Very, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Greatly choreographed. And it just worked really, really well. And then one of your favourite scenes after that. But, well, we're going to get to your favourite scene. But there's also a really, really cracking line where Van Damme says, yeah, bro, we did it. And then Alex says, what? Did what?
Did what? You fucked up.
But then after Danielle tells Alex that Nigel Griffith is having a party at a nightclub which is owned by Mr. Zhang, the twins feel that, okay, they get their shot to go after Mr. Zhang fully.
That's right. Yeah, the club scene is, again, another one of my favourite scenes. And here you see the twins coming into the restaurant / bar with these big boxes of French cognac, and all the henchmen are like finding it very strange. One of the henchmen with the long hair has that weird funny voice.
No, you don't understand. Mr. Zhang would like to see you now.
Yeah, some proper douche, man. And they basically have explosives in these cognacs boxes. And here also is another important scene because we get to see the ruthlessness of Griffith and Zhang, where they're having a meeting and they basically sniff out one of the bosses at the table has basically been leaking information, isn't it?
Well, they suspect.
Oh no, that's right. They suspect that somebody leaked information. We're also introduced to
more characters.
henchmen, yeah.
The guy with the buckles at the end of his shoes. That
Buckles,
very,
what are they called?
They're stirrups. They might be called stirrups.
I think they call stirrups.
Or blades.
If anyone knows what they are,
Comment
down below.
They've got blades, and also we see Cara Everson's character.
That's right, yeah,
as well. And we get to see how ruthless she is by stabbing people.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, another great action sequence.
Yeah.
The two uniquely diverse fighting styles that Van Damme incorporates throughout Double Impact. We see Alex just breaking arms, using bottles.
It's real brutal fights.
Oh yeah,
like getting like a great scene where he takes a drink and smashes it.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Love that
and
scene.
Also, Chad's character who just karate kicks everybody through.
Yeah, some really good stunts there and choreography, like the glass shattering. All looks cool. Yeah, again, very John Woo.
What happens? They discover
that there's two of them. And
there's
two of them. And that's when another good point in the film where they've all realised that they have a common enemy, whether it's the goodies or the baddies, and the film goes from strength to strength.
It does go from strength to strength, and also I love Raymond Zhang's character and the actor that portrayed Raymond Zhang. I thought he was a very brilliant actor. Again, another collaborator of Van Damme. They worked on Bloodsport together. He's done a lot of Japanese films. He's worked on some John Woo films together.
Yeah. He's one of those faces you see a lot in films. Yeah.
And even Nigel Griffith, he's worked on a lot of films together. And I've always said this when I've done a film review, that your hero is only as good as your villain.
Oh yeah.
So if the villain is whack, the hero's got nothing to aim for. So you've got two really good protagonists.
Yeah, Zhang and Griffith work really well.
And again, the emotional backdrop, the emotional arc for their story makes this film even more compelling. And that's what I liked about the fact that they're responsible for the
and I always found that they're also different in comparison to Chad and Alex. How they're different.
They're uniquely different.
Yeah, Zhang's the more underground triad king. I guess that's where all the muscle comes from. And Griffith is clearly the business brain side of the operation.
And again, you can pretty much say they're pretty much Chad and Alex's equivalents, whereas in terms of like one's more brutal, more merciless, but one's more thinking.
They're evil counterparts.
Oh, absolutely, very, very evil counterparts.
Cara Everson gets another chance to shine, albeit a bit on the sexual side, and Danielle gets where Alex has asked her to look into some of the files that Griffith's play, etc. But she gets a nasty little strip. She gets frisked. She gets touched up, and she didn't like that and runs back to tell Alex.
But Alex isn't around, so Chad comes in.
Oh, this scene is great. But at this time, they've also found Alex has got one of these hideouts that he obviously owns, and they've gone to scope it out, and this is where they're going to start their operations to fight back against Zhang and Griffith.
Precisely.
And
there's another great action sequence as well.
That's right. Oh, the chase, of course. Yeah,
there's a brilliant
chase along the bay. Again, filmed very well. Beautifully filmed.
Yeah, beautiful backdrop of Hong Kong. Again, some great stunt sequences where the guys
market's beautiful.
Where the guys run over, and there's one beautiful fight sequence where Van Damme is punched by a guy, but he actually reverses it whilst he gives him a reverse spin kick and he kicks the guy into the water. I thought that was brilliantly choreographed.
Yeah, don't see that. That was a
brilliantly choreographed sequence. And again, Van Damme is really, really good at orchestrating great fight sequences.
Which leads us to that very strange, dreamy sexual sequence that just took the film. It was out of place in the film, but
it was very out of place.
Way, it was very fun. Yeah, and
it was out of place, but it was in place because it worked.
It was in place, all right.
Oh yeah.
They're floating in the air, shagging with some fucking washing line in the background.
And some 80s porno music. It just like this.
Some real drum synth music going on in the background, and I always remember that scene as being a strange one. But I guess I see what they were trying to do with that. They were trying to make Alex and Chad have this still have this problem between them, a rivalry.
And again, I think there's a little bit of jealousy on Alex's part, purely because Chad was everything that Alex wasn't. He was the more thoughtful, relaxed, kind one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And again, you need to remember that Alex was very, very aggressive. Because remember in the first scene where they meet, and Danielle says, "Damn it, Alex!"
She grabs
him. It's like, you know what? You don't treat women like that.
He didn't like that, no.
So there was, and again, we get a really, really iconic scene where after Chad brings Alex brings Alex's girlfriend back into
I
the island place, Alex thinks that them two have had an affair. But it was a very, very well choreographed sequence.
If I'm not mistaken, is it doves or pigeons in
There were some doves and pigeons.
Doves or pigeons. I don't know if that was a coincidence. Again, going back to the John Woo thing, but yeah, some doves or pigeons do fly about, as it is an abandoned hideout. But yeah, what ensues is a great fight between the two Van Dammes, and that was done really well. I didn't really see many mistakes there with the CGI. That is one scene that was really done well.
You know, you're right. There were some shaky CGI shots in the film of the two Van Dammes, but this one, from the time that the two are standing opposite sides of one another, where it says, "You want to see how I chill out in Hong Kong?" to where they're fighting between one another, that was done very, very well. And again, very, very brutal.
It's the famous line where they're going up the stairs and beating the crap out of each other. And, you know, Danielle shouts out, you know, for God's sakes, he's your brother. Alex ain't having none of it, you know what I mean? He's all saying that he was his chill out, because he looks like me. I'm going to change that. I'm going to fuck up his face. And you know, this is Van Damme at his camp best again, and the comedy elements in this film really work. They do work. They pop up at the right moments.
And again, it's like the one-liners in this film aren't delivered with the same aplomb that say Arnie would, because when Arnie delivers a one-liner, it is done in such a deadpan manner that, as bad as it is, it's so good. This film
is more of a camp
it's more camp. And the two twins disperse.
That's right.
Alex isn't having it. Chad has said, "You know what, I'm through with him. I don't want the tunnel anymore."
I like that scene because I think they both needed time to take in everything that had happened up until the film there. And even though Alex was drunk, I think they both got their time to realise what was going on.
Exactly.
And which brings them back together in the following scene.
Exactly. We got another great action sequence where again we get to see two unique fighting styles, two unique sets of action sequences where Zhang's men has infiltrated the hideout.
That's right,
of Alex, Chad, and Frank. And what I love about that particular action sequence, which is backtrack a minute, I think again, very, very well choreographed. You have great fight sequences and great shootouts as well, which worked very, very well. But we go to the final sequence, and again, this film just plays like a video game. You go from one level to the next, and we're down to the second to last level where they're on the boat. And Alex gets into a very, very brutal but very, very beautifully choreographed fight with the guy with the blades at the end of his shoes.
That's right, yeah.
That scene was just beautifully well done.
I really liked that scene as well. It was the most stylized scene, fighting scene of the film. Where you got the cowboy guy in the dark coming out the shadows doing these beautifully well spin kicks. I'm pretty sure he's a well-known martial artist. He gets the best of Alex at the start of the fight, but you know,
cuts his arm.
Alex prevails. And for me, the highlight of the fighting in the film was definitely the second fight with Bolo Young and Van Damme. These guys, of course, they've worked together before, like in things like Bloodsport, so they know each other's style very well and how to fight each other on film. And this scene was done really, really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bolo gets his time to shine again. And what do you think of this scene?
I love that scene. Again, Van Damme, on hand as fight choreographer, he put together a really, really great fight sequence. One of the flaws in that fight sequence where Bolo Young's character picks up an oil drum and attempts to crush Chad with it, but Chad jumps over him, and I'm okay, how did you do that?
That jump, those 90s jumps.
Oh yeah, that's the 80s.
You can almost see him jumping off the a trampoline or something.
So that scene is forgivable.
But that's the thing with this film. You'll get some mistakes, but then you'll get some really great shots, like the shot where he does the split kick and he kicks the barrel.
Oh yeah,
that sequence looks really good, and it looks like there's some weight to that barrel because you almost see Van Damme wincing that scene.
Yeah.
The way the fight sequence is, everything works in that, especially the music as well. Like it's very tense music. It almost goes with Moon's character, Bolo Young's character,
and it's very, very intense. And again, he doesn't know that it was actually Bolo Young's character that shot dead his mother.
That's right.
But again, it just works because you know what? His main intention is to just take him out.
I think they touch on that because of the scar.
Yeah.
Because Uncle Frankie knows exactly who he is.
Well, Uncle Frankie knew who he was, but again, Chad and Alex didn't.
That's right.
It wasn't.
No, Chad and Alex didn't. No.
So it works very well. So after kicking Bolo Young's character into a I don't know, power cable.
I'd say it was an electrifying fight.
Yeah. Jeez. Oh, very well done.
No,
I don't know about that.
It was a great way to go for Bolo's character Moon. But then, the action, again, just the action just non-stop in this film.
And another great action sequence is between Alex and Cara Everson, who has the enviable position. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Getting crushed between a woman's thighs, grabbing his crotch.
It very much reminds me of, what's her name from GoldenEye?
Onatop. Yeah, Onatop, yeah.
Onatop, yeah.
Famke Janssen.
Yeah, she has that sort of thing about her with her thighs being able to kill men with her.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this is a great fight scene.
And again, another unstructured fight sequence, and again, Alex just, doing whatever he can to get the job done.
I love how Chad went after Griffith and Alex went after Zhang. It just made sense. With Chad, he follows Griffith to the end of the port where the crates are, and Griffiths is in this crate lifting machine. Of course, they swap places, and now Chad's in the driver's seat, and he takes out Griffith in the most gruesome way possible, where he drops this 2-ton crate on top of
20-ton, but just
20-ton line, crushes him to death. Which leads us to, which I'll let you explain Zhang's
one of the more emotional sequence where we see Alex going after Raymond Zhang, chasing after him. And the two get into a great fight where Alex has come onto the top of this crane, and Zhang blinds him with a fire extinguisher.
I think it was,
and again, one thing that we touched upon was the fact that sequence where he blinds him is almost, it is reminiscent of what happened in Bloodsport. You remember when Bolo
Young with the
chalk in
his face?
Oh yeah, that's the second time he's been blinded. And then we see a more merciless Raymond Zhang where he pulls out a sword from his walking stick.
Oh, that was a cool. Yeah, we've seen that for the first time.
That was just a brutal scene.
I like how they saved that till the end. He doesn't bring that out throughout the film, does he?
No, he doesn't.
You see the cane, but not the blade.
But he has his henchman do his dirty work for him.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we see him as he's thinks he's going to get the upper hand. What he does is he gets his hand and he puts it in the clutching of the mechanics.
I love that scene.
That scene was just brutal.
So Alex, I'll give you anything you want. I'll give you half of everything.
And what was so brutal was the fact that what I love most about this scene was the fact that the two twins had come together. When he was when Zhang mentions Griffith, he says, "Don't worry, my brother is taking care of him." So he has faith in Alex.
Oh yeah,
he has faith in Chad because remember in the early sequences, he tells Frankie, Frankie, I'm not so sure about this guy.
Oh yeah, they're both on the same page here for sure. Yeah.
And one of the more emotional arcs of the film was where he tells him, "I'm going to give you half of everything." And then Alex says, "What about my father?"
Yeah, which
how can I forget that?
It's a fantastic line, which explains that Alex is fully on board now. He understands what's going on. And it's all about revenge now. It's not about money. And he
understands that I had a family, and you took it out. So how am I going to work?
Revenge is the only thing left here. So he takes care of Mr. Zhang in a fantastic way.
Push him on the conveyor belt.
The scream, the yelp, as he goes down, I always loved it. Very reminiscent of another famous death.
Oh yes, Mr. Hans Gruber.
Mr. Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber hit hard concrete.
Oh boy.
Mr. Zhang hit concrete boxes.
Oh yeah, but still enough to take him out of the way.
Yeah. And then the film comes to its climax, to its penultimate ending.
Sadly.
Two of our favourite sequences.
Yeah.
One with the two twins come together.
Battle damaged, Again, like an old school, a Contra Probotector scene where the two warriors at the end of the game all smashed up, greet each other with the famous hug scene.
Oh yeah, and you know what? That scene, and there was a lot of shaky visual effects in this film, but that scene was the best one.
Again, that's right.
That has to be the best out of the lot.
I thought it was weird. I thought the harder scenes where they had to do the two brothers worked well, and the easier scenes where they're just standing still or they have to have a stand-in were the ones that didn't work. Like in the bar where you clearly see that the standing where he pushes him, telling them to get out the bar and get on with it. I thought that looked pretty obvious that wasn't Van Damme, and then there were some very shaky digital effects when they were both together in some of the scenes. But where they were fighting and everything's moving, I thought that was done very well.
Yeah, brilliantly. But again, it comes to an emotional ending. The two twins hug one another. They love one another. Okay, they're we're family. Chad brings Danielle to Alex reconcile one another. Frankie's escaped.
Yeah, nice scene that is.
Yeah, and then there's that iconic scene where Alex says, "You know what, we did it," and then Chad gives him that okay, and then the iconic song comes out by Jen, "Feel the Impact."
Feel the Impact, which is something we haven't really touched on, to be honest. For me, the soundtrack is another star of this film.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Something that they get absolutely right. Whether it be the action sequences, the romantic scenes, more tense scenes. I thought the music went very well with each scene that was played. I'd like to know who done the music. I know,
Well,
I know some of the soundtrack, which they never really actually released.
Yeah, some of the soundtrack was done by a group called Jen, but Arthur Kempnell, he did the actual musical score for the film. So if you want to talk about the musical score in terms of like the opening sequence, the scenes for the fighting sequences, for the scenes for tension, for drama, for romance, he composed that score. So he did a very, very good job.
Oh, right, there you go. Good.
And Jen, they did the iconic soundtrack which was classic.
The credits,
yeah, Feel the Impact. And
anyone,
again,
yeah, whoever wants that track is done by Jen, and it's the track that plays on the intro and the outro.
Again, that song and the lyrics are just so reminiscent of so many of like the Jean-Claude Van Damme songs in terms of just like fighting back, getting the strength to like come back 10 times stronger. Yeah. Great beat, great song, great melody, harmless. Better than some of the crap that's coming out in today's music.
Yeah. It just works for the film.
Oh yes,
the
works.
The soundtrack for the film just works. Anything that you didn't like about the film?
There's a few flaws, but again, they're forgivable flaws. Like when the twins are separated, and like 25 years later, like how did you know which twin was which? Bearing in mind, like their baby clothes, there's no initials.
Yeah, good
and
point.
again, like
and they do look alike. They don't go.
Oh yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme jumping over the barrel. Those things didn't work very, very well.
Some of the CGI.
Some of the CGI looks a little bit shaky, and like even now, 28, 29 years on, it still looks a little bit flaky. But other than that,
it's forgivable because again, the film knows what it is. It knows it's like 80% action, 20% comedy.
Exactly.
And it apart from these faults, it really does work well.
And again, it complements Van Damme's whatever acting ability he had. He gave a really, really good performance. And again, that's not saying much because again, he's a very, very limited actor. He gave a good good performance as the two twins.
You can really say that Van Damme does carry this film.
Oh, yeah,
that is one of the most important things when you're a lead actor is that you carry it. You can't let that's why you can't let a supporting actor steal the limelight because that's why they're supporting. Mm-hmm. But he does a great job here, and I thought that Frankie, Jeffrey Lewis, God rest his soul. He done well keeping the story as well gelled together as the aging Uncle Frankie.
And again, you got the Bola Young, you got Raymond Zhang's character, you got Nigel Griffith. All these characters played an integral part of the film.
Even the character Danielle, who plays the damsel love interest and the damsel in distress, she played it very well as well.
I think they all did very well. But overall, this film is a guilty pleasure. I mean, great film, great action sequences, great shootout. Again, thoroughly enjoyable. Just a classic, Again, it may not be in everybody's top 5 and not everybody's favourite, but for us, we enjoyed watching it as kids, and this is still a film that I can still watch to this day.
So if you had to give it a score, what would you give it?
For nostalgia, for enjoyment, and just for as a guilty pleasure, I'll give it a 9.
I agree with Patrick's 9. I'm going to go with a 9 out of 10 as well. There's nothing I don't like about this film. If I'm going to be nitpicky, it would be some of the special effects and some of the mistakes. But what film didn't have them? Even the big budget films have them as well. But nothing's perfect. But this is as close as perfect as it gets. And for me, Double Impact gets a very strong 9 out of 10. Yeah. So guys, this was our joint review of Double Impact. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. We put a lot of effort here into this review. It's a film that we love. If you like this content, then be rest assured that me and Patrick are going to be coming at you with many, many more joint reviews. Some of the ones that we're looking to do is Predator, Kickboxer,
Total Recall,
Tango and Cash. These are all films that we'll be doing that played a big part in us growing up and becoming friends and talking about stuff that we love.
Again, and if you can think of any other retro films that you want us to review, by all means, please feel free to comment.
Yes, please. And also, we will get on it. And also take down below, tell us which was your favourite Van Damme film. We'd really like to know which ones was your favourites. And for me, if you want to subscribe to my channel, it's the Joe Cobra YouTube channel. I review games and I do film reviews as well with my good friend Mr. P here. Please subscribe down below, show me some support, show me some love. And also, please, subscribe to Mr. P's channel, who does films.
Oh yeah, I do film reviews, and I'm going to be doing a whole lot more. There's going to be a lot of reviews coming. There's going to be a lot of joint reviews coming in the near future. So watch this space. And again, support the channel because, we're looking to get better, and we will get better, and we're looking to grow our channels and do something great in the near future. So please, support the movement. That's
right, guys. We're here to stay. So listen, if you enjoyed the content, drop us a like. You can see this video on Mr. P's channel as well. Thank you really much for you guys watching our videos, and thank you for your continuing support. and that leaves us with just to say goodbye.
Okay, take care. We shall see you on the next review.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
Peace.